It wasn't easy, but I worked really hard to get my English where it is right now. So here's the 4 tips that helped me and that'll help you too.
Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Alvin.
My name is Suzu.
And welcome back to our channel. Suzu's from Japan and she has been here with me in New York City for about 5 years. And when she first came here, till now, her English has gotten way better every single day. So I thought today it would be fun for Suzu to share her journey learning English.
Sounds good. I started learning English when I was in 7th grade. When I first saw High School Musical, I thought they're really cool and I wanted to speak like them. At first, I only knew basic words like good morning, good night, hello, and thank you.
And now she's soaring, flying. Sorry. Cut! Back then when you first started learning English, was there a lot of other kids who were interested in learning it?
Not when I was in middle school, but when I was in high school, I met a lot of friends who are very interested in learning other languages.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Did you go to like cafes and like make study groups?
Yes, but we did it before the exam week.
Oh, just that?
Yeah.
Oh, alright. I guess you know my fantasies aren't that real, but who cares? Whatever. Different topic today. Also, besides that, did you use any other tools or resources to help you learn English?
Not really, but I did go to English school for a few months, but it didn't last long. But I watch a lot of American TV shows and I watch a lot of movies. I listen to tons of American songs, and my iPod, as you know, was full of music from like Miley Cyrus, Taylor Swift, Justin Bieber, Michael Jackson.
Oh, those are some good choices. I don't know about Justin Bieber, but I've gotten to like him.
It was a big thing back in the day.
I've gotten to like him recently, so I'll let you off for that one. And I totally remember that iPod because I've seen the playlist. Definitely a lot of great songs that brought back wonderful memories. So, since you actually clicked on this video, Suzu and I both know you're already interested in learning or improving your English. And the best part about this is that Suzu's already been in your shoes, so she's actually a professional at it, right?
I think so.
So she's actually more than willing to share some of her tips that help her along the way.
It wasn't easy, but I worked really hard to get my English where it is right now. So, here's the 4 tips that helped me and that'll help you too.
Awesome. Let's get to it.
Yeah.
Tip number 1.
You gotta be interested in English.
People who are really good at something usually started out by being interested in that subject or whatever they're doing. Or unfortunately for some people, their parents force them to do it.
Sadly.
We hope that you're actually interested in English and that you actually like it because it makes the learning process more fun and you won't want to drop it anytime soon.
Well, what he said, because I was interested in English, I was always excited to learn. That made it easy.
The best part about this tip is that since you're already watching this video, that means you're already interested and you're well on your way. So good job. Suzu, we're ready for tip number 2.
Tip number 2 is to mimic native English speakers. This is a tip I always tell my friend whenever they ask me how I improve my English pronunciation.
This tip is actually something I did with Suzu when she first came here, to the point of actually annoying her, and I thought she wanted to break up with me because of it. But luckily she's still here and she's making these videos with me.
At first it was a little bit annoying, but I knew he was trying to help me improve my English, and that actually helped me improve my pronunciation. Thanks.
So when you first started learning English, I know you said you didn't know a lot of people who spoke English, so who did you end up mimicking?
So I watch a lot of American TV shows and movies. I pick up certain words from whatever actors are saying and I repeat over and over again for those words or phrases until I can actually say it perfectly.
So were you actually saying it around your house like a crazy person?
Yes, while I'm watching those TV shows, I just repeat words that I couldn't say and my sister always get annoyed by me.
Yeah, I could definitely see
but
that
sometimes
happening.
I did that unconsciously, so I'm sorry.
Also, the best part about mimicking TV shows or movies is that it actually feels like you're a part of the movie or the TV show. So for me, if I were to do that, I would act like I'm in an action movie and roll around the floor and say freeze. Or if I'm watching some fantasy shows like Lord of the Rings, I would say, "You shall not pass." I'm sorry.
Basically, that's it. I honestly don't like to study, but mimicking the words or phrase was actually a fun alternative for me. I never felt like I was actually studying, but it was just like a fun habit for me to have in order for me to improve my English.
Sounds good. And look at her now. Okay, Suzu, so what's tip number 3?
Tip number 3 is to listen to English all the time and get used to the sound.
If you're outside and you can't repeat things like a crazy person in your house, then this is something I could definitely recommend for you to do. You should always try to listen to things in English like podcasts or music so that you can familiarize yourself with how it sounds, because English sounds different all the time. Not everybody is going to be speaking it the same way. Just like how I'm speaking it is different from how Suzu is speaking it.
This tip is a little bit similar to mimicking, but we believe getting used to the sound of English is very important since you freak out less when you hear English out there. And it's also important that you have, oh, I know what they're saying moment.
That's true, because once you have that moment, it's going to be more fun for you to continue, and you're always going to be chasing that moment every time.
That's true, and it also stays in your brain. Just enjoy yourself and you'll be pro at it in no time.
No time, guaranteed. What's tip number 4?
Tip number 4 is make friends with native speakers.
Or date one, like me.
Yes.
Right now, it's actually the easiest time to make friends with people who speak English or other languages, just because we're everywhere. You can use online forums, go video chatting, or even use dating apps like Tinder or OkCupid. And don't ask me how I know those sites.
Make friends with native speakers is intimidating at first, and even for me. And that's because you're afraid of making mistakes and also afraid of not being able to communicate well because you're not sure that they would understand what you're saying.
I could definitely understand like people being afraid to, talk to people, just because it's hard to talk to somebody using a language you're not very familiar with.
Exactly.
Even for me, like if I were to speak Japanese to somebody, I'm not going to be the most confident person, but you have to be confident and you have to try and put your stuff out there, because if you don't, you're never going to have that confidence in yourself to go and speak to people with the language that you're actually learning.
Yes, making friends with native speaker, it'll make you less afraid of making mistakes and be more open to actually speaking it.
I think a lot of people like myself find it to be really cute when people are trying to speak English, just because, it's fun, it's nice. So I think a lot more people are more open to helping. So go out there and meet new friends. It doesn't hurt. Once you meet somebody who will help you, it's going to be an amazing process. So Suzu, in your case, where did you actually meet people who spoke English natively?
In my case, my friend had a friend who was a native speaker, so I used to talk to them. And I also went to American college, and that's one of my biggest steps I took.
That must have been scary. Were you like afraid to make friends, or were you afraid the first time you actually went there?
Oh yeah, I was very scared. But then I realized if I don't try it, I will not get what I want.
Which is to speak English fluently.
Yes.
And yeah, I understand what you're coming from. Especially when I was in college, when I saw students coming here to learn English, they would go to class, and after the class, they would just be in their own groups and actually just speak their native tongue and never speak English again. So it's very hard for them to actually retain and learn English that way. If you're actually learning English, keep practicing it, make friends, and just keep speaking it. That's the best thing you could do for yourself, because that way you'll get used to it and you won't lose it.
I made a lot of mistakes in front of native speakers and they just laugh about it. And I was like, oops, sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
It also helps to be as cute as Suzu, so that way people won't get mad at you. I really hope we shared some really cool tips that would help you learn English.
We talk about 4 tips today. Tip number 1, be interested in English. Tip number 2 is to mimic native speakers. And tip number 3 is to listen to English and get used to the sound. And tip number 4 is to make friends with native speakers.
You can start from tip number 1 and work your way up from there.
You can follow these tips on your own pace, and that's very important.
And remember to have fun while you're doing it, because having fun is what matters. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video and you found these tips to be very
interesting
and
helpful
and
useful.
As usual, let us know what you'd like to see in the future. Like,
comment,
and subscribe. See you later. Bye.